From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, March the 13th, 2023. Hundreds of thousands of Israelis took to the streets Saturday night for the now 10th consecutive week of protests against the government's judicial overhaul, with organizers saying that the crowd's numbers neared 500,000 in rallies across the country altogether. Said to be the largest protest night in the history of the State of Israel. Over 200,000 in Tel Aviv, and relatively smaller rallies held in at least 95 different locations across Israel, including in Jerusalem, Haifa, Beersheba, where opposition leader Yair Lapid spoke to the crowd, and several protests also in places like Efrat in Gush Etzion in the West Bank. Rallies against the judicial overhaul were also held on a smaller scale in New York City's Washington Square Park yesterday and in London's Parliament Square. And Lapid, together with opposition leaders Benny Gantz, Merav Michaeli, and Avigdor Lieberman, met in Jerusalem today, they said, to coordinate opposition strategy to the judicial overhaul, restating that they would not take part in any talks until legislation of judicial reforms is halted in the Knesset. They said, when the president's outline is presented, we will be happy to address his proposal, and we appreciate the president's efforts to reach negotiations. Well, President Isaac Herzog met with Knesset member Simcha Rothman yesterday. Rothman heads the Constitution, Law, and Justice Committee and is a strong proponent of the reforms. Herzog's office said the meeting took place to try and make progress in a compromise deal. The two met for a reported 3 hours. Before meeting the president, Rothman told his committee that while he did not agree with what the president said this past Thursday night, where he urged an immediate solution before Israel, he said, reaches the point of no return, the door was open to negotiation. Looking to some other news now, Israel's Air Force is taking part in a joint exercise with the U.S. Air Force. Red Flag 2023 kicked off yesterday in Nevada. The large-scale drill at Nellis Air Force Base includes close to 100 aircraft. The Air Force Base saying that Saturday launches were rescheduled to Sunday out of respect for Israeli Air Force participants' observation of the Sabbath. Israel's Air Force said the exercise strengthens the operational cooperation between the two militaries as key partners committed to maintaining security in the Middle East. And in another sign of such cooperation, the IDF shared yesterday that 2 Israel Air Force F-16 Barak fighter jets accompanied a U.S. B-52 bomber through Israel's skies as part of the close cooperation with the U.S. Armed Forces, which is a significant component, they wrote, in maintaining the aerial security of the State of Israel and the Middle East. Looking now at some sports, Team Israel in its first game of the 2023 World Baseball Classic in Miami yesterday beat Nicaragua 3-1. The team tonight faces Puerto Rico and later the Dominican Republic and Venezuela. And looking at some entertainment news, the 95th Annual Academy Awards were held last night. Among the Jewish winners, Jamie Lee Curtis picked up her first ever Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once. The movie won a total of 7 awards, including Best Picture. Curtis also mentioned her parents, both Oscar nominees, Janet Leigh, and her father, Tony Curtis, who was Jewish. And writer, director, actor Sarah Polley, whose father is Jewish, won Best Adapted Screenplay for Women Talking. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, March the 13th at 7 o'clock. It's episode 5 of the hit Israeli TV series Srugim. At 7:40, Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch discusses a recent discovery by Israeli archaeologists. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks to Rabbi and author Michael Strassfeld about his book Judaism Disrupted. At 8:30, a look at rabbis and feminism. At 9, Rabbi Sarah Hurwitz is on L'chaim. At 10, the late Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up next, I speak with Jason Isaacson, Chief Policy and Political Affairs Officer at the American Jewish Committee, about the AJC's recent visit to India and how relations between India, the U.S., and Israel positively impact the region and beyond. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, March the 13th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.